Hello, my name is Stowe Shoemaker, and I'm here with Scott Sibella. We're here with ICE 365, and Scott's going to be talking about the new opening of Resorts World here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'd like to really begin our conversation today by talking about your path to Resorts World. You're the president, you're opening this brand new resort. How did you get here?
Yeah, it's been quite a path. I never thought it was going to happen this fast, but I had a great run with our MGM Resorts. I worked at some of their biggest properties and had a good 20-year run. And this opportunity came available. I met the chairman and I met some of the board members. And before I knew it, I joined Resorts World a couple of years ago. And it's been an experience like no other. I'm just so happy to be here.
So Scott, this is really the first property to open in Las Vegas in over a decade. And you're going to be having a lot of amenities to attract all the different types of customers to Las Vegas and to Resorts World. Tell me about some of these amenities.
Yeah, and that's really important because we're going to cater to all levels of different customers, especially with the three brands that we have with the Hilton, starting with the luxury brand, a premium brand, and even the masses. So to do that, you have to be able to have areas for them to hang out and to celebrate the property. So you'll see five-star restaurants, you'll see casual restaurants, you'll see champagne bars, you'll see fun country bars, you'll see a lot of live music, but there's something for everybody when you come to this property, and there's something you do something different every night, and that's what we wanted to create, where it feels like it's just not a luxury, over luxury property. It's designed that way, and the beauty is that way, but the way you program it and lay it out is the most important thing, so all customers feel comfortable. Our goal is not to alienate anybody that enters this property.
So Genting, as you just mentioned, is certainly a global company in many different businesses, hospitality being one of the major ones. How does the Vegas property complement the international strategy for Genting?
Well, I think what Genting is really good at is creating integrated properties. And a lot of it has to do with their jurisdictions where we're at. We're one of the only properties in that area. But we wanted to bring that same style and that same strategy to Las Vegas. And we truly believe that we will be the first integrated property on Las Vegas Strip when it comes to gaming, when it comes to theater, when it comes to having all the convention space, when it comes to having over 40 restaurants and bars. It's one of those properties where you never have to leave. Everything's here. You can stay here 3 or 4 days and experience something different every night.
And so when you talk about the amenities and never leaving the property, I noticed that you have 3 different brands here, all within the same property. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was really important to us. We wanted, again, to be an integrated property that catered to all different levels of customers. And you don't see that a lot. Usually you strategize and you have one brand and that's what you try to be good at. We're trying to be good at all of them. So we're going to be a luxury property, we're going to be a premium property, and we're also going to take care of the masses. And that's one reason why we partnered with Hilton, because they have all these different brands that caters these different levels of customers. So we're ultra luxury again, we're premium, and then again we're mass oriented, and the way we program it, there's something for everybody to feel comfortable here, and we're going to do all this in one building, which we know we're going to pull off, but it's not easy to do. You don't see this happening a lot with a building this size.
And I imagine there's going to be a lot of technology being used to create this experience.
Yeah, absolutely. We broke the mold. We're not doing anything the way you used to run a casino, only because it's 10 years since a property like this is open. So we're taking advantage of technology and advancement, how things have continued to grow, and how we're staffing the property. And I think the guest experience will be a big part of that, from the time you check in with your phone, when you order food. Every decision you make is on your mobile phone. And not only that, behind the scenes that the guests don't even see, to make it easier for the employees to do their job. So we looked at it completely different from how we used to run the properties, and took advantage of, again, 10 years later, opening something up on the Strip.
And you mentioned earlier you've had an amazing career with MGM. Now you're here. What are some of the lessons that you've learned in your multi-year career in hospitality and gaming that you're bringing in here that is going to really set the world afire?
Yeah, they're not necessarily lessons, but they're just things that some properties can't do because of the infrastructure and money. Mm-hmm. And some of these buildings are much, much older on the Strip, as we know, and they're still great properties. But again, here we are 10 years later, it's a different world out there. So we started from the beginning on how we can design this property, how we set it up, how we operate it, and all those things were a factor in going forward and not what we used to do. And that's how I challenged the team, and that's every decision we made, that's what we would think about. Let's do it differently the way you would today, because there's nothing handicapping us and holding us back from doing it the way you used to do it.
One thing I'm excited about that I've heard about is you have some hawker stands across. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing really unique to kind of capture that sort of street food around the world?
Yeah, we're really excited to introduce this to Las Vegas. It's something we do over in Malaysia. It's called Famous Food. And what we'll do is we'll have 18 stalls of the best food from Asia and from America tied into one area with outside seating, state-of-the-art technology to order your drinks, a big bar in the middle. And the key is it's right off the casino floor. Everything has easy access and was put in that area for a certain reason. We wanted the flow of the property and the layout, and we really are excited about this for our guests, but we really think it's to be a big hit for our local market.
And the chairman seems like very much of a visionary. And he's been very involved in helping you kind of craft what is going to happen here at the resort.
Yeah, very much. I've worked for some very, very talented individuals, and he's by far up there with the top. He knows this business better than anybody. He gets it. He's very engaged. It's been hard because he hasn't been here for many months because of the pandemic, but we still talk to him almost every day. He wants to see the process of the project, and he gives us so much feedback and so much guidance, and his knowledge is just, it's been great. We've all learned so much from him, and I think you'll see that, and you'll get the feel of what a Resorts World property is when we open, and that's the feel that we have all over the world with our properties.
So what does the revenue model look like for Resorts World? I mean, have you kind of, obviously you've got lots and lots of budgets and all that kinds of figures, but how do you look at where the revenue is going to be coming from? Is it?
Well, another great question. We don't disclose the exact numbers, but I will tell you we're competing with anybody and everybody on the Strip. We just opened our call center, and we have the highest rates in town, which we expected. So we know we can make as much money as the big guys here, the ones across the street and down the street. We hope to make more, but it's not a sprint. You know, we're not one of those properties, again, where corporates run, and it's how was your last quarter and your next quarter. We know we're going to set something and create history when we open this property in Las Vegas. And in 10, 20 years, this property will still be going strong and will be the #1 property on the Strip.
So as you think about your marketing, and I know we'll be talking later about some of your marketing strategy, but do you see a big complement happening between all the different properties you have around the world with those guests coming to Las Vegas?
Yeah, somewhat. But the database isn't as big as you think. It's, even though you have a large database overseas, it's not easy to market to them just to fly over when we need assistance with rooms. New York property, we got a good base there, but it's a different type of base because it's more of a daily trip property. They don't have any hotel rooms, soon to open some. So we knew we had established our own database, and that's one big reason why we partnered with Hilton. They have over 130 million people in their Hilton Honors program, and they've already helped kickstart our property. And just yesterday, we set another daily record on room revenue, and 60% of it came from Hilton Honors guests. So they're a great partner, and they're helping us kickstart it as we grow our database.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me, so you're planning to open really in a couple of weeks? Yeah,
it's June 24th. A lot of sleepless nights. I'm excited, but at the same time, we still have a lot of work to do. But we will open June 24th, and we're, again, extremely excited to introduce Resorts World to the city of Las Vegas.
Tell me a little bit about the culture you're trying to create here with all your employees, because you're going to be hiring, what, 5,000 employees?
Yeah, we currently have about 800 employees now, and soon to hire another 5,000 before June 24th. Another great question. You just can't write down a culture and then that's our culture. You know, it has to start with me and the executives, and that's what we're working on now. But we want to create a culture that Genting's already established overseas, where the employees are #1 asset. The employees have a voice. The employees are taken care of. They're treated with respect. They have good bosses. And that's where it starts. That's #1 asset. You do that, they'll take care of the guest. And that's what we're creating here, that family environment. Everybody works together, no silos. Even though it's a lot of employees, if we achieve a goal somewhere, we all celebrate. If we miss something, then we missed it.
So I have to ask you, because we're on a piece of land that you used to come to a long time ago. Can you tell us a little bit about your beginnings?
Yeah, so when I was raised in Las Vegas, there was like a couple 100,000 people here, so we would always eat on the Strip. I mean, that's what you did back then. So we go to Landmark, and we always go to the Stardust. And I was so intrigued with the casinos and all the bells and whistles going off, and I always wanted to work in one. So my first job was a busboy here at the Stardust, and it really helped growing up in this industry that this is what I wanted to do. And then when I learned more about the casino, I really fell in love with this business. I love hospitality, I really do. I love the city, but gaming is really what really triggers me. I just like walking on that casino floor and just seeing what the city's created and seeing people enjoying themselves. But it all started at the Stardust.
Yeah, and the Stardust was right on this location.
Right on this location, yeah. So it's history. You know, they created a great brand of history, and we're soon to follow it.
Yeah, so that must be exciting. In terms of the technology, gaming is changing so much. What are you seeing happening as you laid out your casino floor in terms of the types of games you put on to be able to attract all the different generations that are gambling nowadays?
Yeah, and there's so many new things out there. Again, we're just taking advantage of what's out there in today's world. And you're going to talk to some of the gentlemen after this, but we challenged everybody to not open up like a regular casino. Yeah, the rules are the same. We have compliance that we have to follow with gaming, but nothing else will be the same. We're doing things that no one's ever seen. Our loyalty program was set up with non-gaming guests first. That's the new shift in Las Vegas. And we want to take care of the customers that come here, maybe not go in the casino and gamble, but why aren't they in part of our loyalty program? Why aren't they earning points and earning offers throughout the year like casino guests do? So we started with them, and then we turned it into a casino program. So we did it like a paradigm shift. So we don't have casino hosts here. You know, Donnie's going to have a whole team that resort hosts. Everybody's valuable here. If you spend money here, we're going to take care of you and treat you like you lost money in the casino. And that's not how it used to be. But when it comes to some of the technology, we're the first property to have RFID chips. Now, not any smarter, it's just you can't afford to do that up and down the Strip. It'd be millions of dollars. Well, we can open that way. So we know where every chip is at every time, basically. So it helps with the operation side. It helps with your margins, little things like that to make it easier for the customer. They can use their phones now as an e-wallet. So everything's on their phone. They can walk up to a table, swipe it. We give them chips. They play, win or lose. We swipe it. The chips don't lose the game. So now you're not walking with chips. So many things like that we're proud to introduce because we want it to be everywhere, but we'll definitely be the first one. And probably, and I'll say this with honesty, that the state-of-the-art that we'll have on that casino floor won't be the best in the country, we're probably best in the world.
So really what I'm hearing for this whole conversation, we're getting close to wrapping up, this is really a whole paradigm shift in terms of what we're opening here.
I'm more proud and excited to introduce how we're operating it. And we're confident. We spend a lot of time on the design and the beauty, and it's over the top. It's as good as anything, and it's timeless. You know, we want to design something that would last years and years and years. Of course, we're going to maintain it and make this property always look pretty as it will the first day it opens. But more importantly, how are we going to operate? How do we make it easier for the guests and for our employees? And that's just taking advantage of technology. And our team just, you know, I kept challenging them. At the beginning, they were a little maybe hesitant, but then they got it. And now they were doing all these things. And gaming's been great working with us because we need to be the front runner when it comes to technology in Las Vegas. And I think the Gaming Control Board knows that. Our new chairman knows that. And we're going to play a big part in that. And we're excited, again, to introduce all these things.
Yeah, so it's just not a new resort. It's a whole new way of doing business.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
This
you.
has been great.
Thanks
It's
for
been
having
a pleasure.
us.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.